Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I will be reading Wait With Me by Amy Daws and watching the Passionflix adaptation. If you are new to my Passionflix videos, I basically read the book, review it, vlog the entire experience, and then I watch the Passionflix adaptation. I also vlog and review it. I compare both the book and the adaptation, and I just talk about my feelings and give a review. Passionflix recently released their adaptation of Wait With Me, which is the book by Amy Daws. I don't think I've read anything by Amy Daws before, so this will be my first book by this author. I believe this book kind of blew up on TikTok a little bit. This just follows an author who writes an entire book at this tire shop, and she falls in love with a mechanic there, I think. I've heard decent things about this book, so I'm very excited to read it. And for the movie, I haven't seen the trailer yet. I did watch the small like sneak peek clip that we got before the trailer was released, and I've seen most of the stills and everything, and I will say that I'm very excited to watch the movie. I think it's going to be a really fun movie, so yeah, I'm very excited to do this video today. This book is pretty short. I think it's just shy of 300 pages. It's 292. So I feel like this will be a very quick read. I am hoping to read the entire thing today and also watch the movie. I probably will watch the trailer right before I watch the movie, and I will react to it. I think that's it for this little intro, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on reading Wait With Me. I'm currently halfway through Wait With Me. I'm about to start page 146, chapter 17. I'm not really enjoying this, to be honest. I just find it a little boring, I guess, but also I'm not super in love with the characters or the romance or the plot. I'm glad this book is really short because I just feel like there's no substance to this book, which I feel bad saying. And I don't know if this is the first book by this author that she has ever written, but it does feel like that. It feels like this is her first book that she's ever published. It just doesn't feel like anything special or unique, and I feel bad for saying that because I think it's a really like easy to read, simple romance, and it's not like I expected it to be this award-winning romance book, but I thought I was still gonna enjoy it. I thought I was gonna like the plot and the characters, but as of right now I'm just kind of bored, and I feel like it could easily be a 2-star read. There's been a couple of comments about Kate's weight in this book, which I'm not sure I like. Kate was like listing off all these things that she had eaten, and her friend was like, oh, I can't believe you're not bigger than you are, and that it's disgusting you eat so much. And that kind of like turned me off a little bit because I get it, they're friends and that's like kind of their banter, but it just feels negatively attached to the conversation about weight, which I don't enjoy. I will say I feel like this author manifested some stuff. I mean, her character talks about how her book is like a New York Times bestseller, and I don't know if Amy Daws books have made it onto a New York Times bestseller, but I know this specific book has made a lot of like charts and stuff like that. And then there is a Passionflix mention in here. Kate, the author, is basically saying that her book has been optioned by Passionflix, which is fun, and I feel like the author low-key kind of manifested that because this book is now a Passionflix adaptation, and it has been on some charts and a pretty successful self-published romance. I should have known better that I wasn't gonna love this, but I had hope for it. I had hope. I thought it was gonna be like a 4-star read, but as of right now it's a 2-star read. But I'm gonna read the rest, and it could surprise me. It could bump up to a 3, but we will see. I'm gonna keep reading. So I finished Wait With Me by Amy Daws, and I am going to rate it a 2 out of 5 stars. It wasn't the worst book I have ever read. I didn't really feel like it was an entertaining read. It was very basic, very simple. I feel like this would be a great book for somebody who is just starting out with romance, who has not read a lot from the genre, because I feel like if you're very experienced with romances, this is just going to feel very bland. There wasn't much of a plot, honestly. Our female character is just a writer, and she was kind of having writer's block and realized that writing in this tire depot gave her inspiration and helped her be able to write. And then she meets Miles, who is one of the mechanics, and they kind of have a friends with benefits situation. But Kate is hiding a lot from Miles. I feel like the two things that she hid from Miles, like the two sort of secrets, I guess, is the only reason this book had a plot. The romance wasn't anything special to me. It was fine. I didn't really feel the connection between the characters, but I didn't really like the characters. I will say I enjoyed Miles more than I liked Kate. Kate was just kind of annoying a little bit. I will say the sex scenes were great. They were written really well. But I definitely kind of skimmed a little bit of them. I just didn't necessarily care. I know my review is pretty negative, but I will say I enjoyed how fast-paced this was. It was a very simple, quick, easy read. Like I've said, I feel like this is the kind of book that you pick up when you're not really wanting to commit to a book and you just want to read, and you want to read something quick. I feel like this is that kind of book. I'm hoping I like the movie more. I see this being a good movie. Like, I feel like there is something to make it a movie, if that makes sense. I really did think I was gonna like this, but after I read like the first couple of pages, I realized, yeah, it just reminds me of a lot of like 2010 to like 2014 romances. I think that's really all of my thoughts and feelings on this book. I sadly just didn't care, really. It wasn't a bad book. I feel like the plot and the writing was fine. I just have very high standards when it comes to romances nowadays, and this really didn't do anything for me. I'm actually gonna go ahead and watch the trailer right now. The official trailer, I guess, is 1 minute and 27 seconds. You actually went back to the tire depot.
Kate, come on, they are gonna call the cops on you.
For what? Stealing complimentary coffee and cookies?
Mechanic. Oh, mechanic.
Well, with book boyfriend arms like that, it's no wonder.
Book boyfriend?
The leading man in a romance novel that readers claim ownership of because he doesn't likely exist in the real world.
I take it you're in the books or something?
Or something.
Now tell me why you're early here.
I got a new book idea today.
Why won't you tell me what you're writing?
Because it weirds people out. As a friend, I was wondering if you might be able to help me with some research for my next book.
What did you have in mind?
I have entered into a casual friends with benefits situation with a mechanic from Tire Depot who thinks my name is Mercedes.
You're hooking up with a guy who still doesn't even know your real name. How do you think that's gonna work? He wants it casual, but I want the whole thing, the good, the bad, all of it.
Friends have to earn their benefits sometimes.
Okay. The trailer actually looks good, and I will say this looks like one of Passionflix's best trailers that they have ever done. Wow, I'm actually really impressed by that trailer. I feel like all the other trailers that Passionflix have done have just been very like cheap, quickly made, and this one actually felt like a real trailer. I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and watch the movie now. So it says Wait With Me is an hour and 35 minutes. It's categorized as a comedy, and it has 4 fire emojis for the scale, I guess. The director is Colleen Davy Janes, who also directed Seduction and Snacks, which I have not watched yet. It is on my list to watch. I know I'm very, very late to that one. 2 main actors are Madison Lawlor and Andrew Biernat. Also, a very interesting fact, the script was written by the director, Colleen Davy Janes, but also David A. Gregory, who played, what was his character's name? Clay in Dirty Sexy Saint. I didn't realize that he was interested in writing or adapting books, which I find really interesting. I am excited to see an actor write a screenplay, like adapt a book. I think that's interesting, and I'm wondering how, you know, the dialogue is going to be, if it's going to be exactly like the book or not, which Passionflix is obviously famous for. I'm going to go ahead and start watching the movie.
I drive the Cadillac SRX.
A Cadillac? Isn't that kind of an old lady car?
It is not an old lady car. It is a luxury SUV, and it is wonderful.
Well, if you have that kind of money, you should look into a Lexus or a BMW. Much more sexy feel to the body.
Well, maybe I don't want a sexy body feel.
What's your name?
My name is Mercedes.
That's perfect. You'd look damn fine in a Mercedes.
What do you drive?
An Indian motorcycle?
Why am I not surprised?
Am I that predictable?
More predictable than my old lady car.
I'm currently halfway through Wait With Me, the movie, and it's alright. It's definitely cringe and a little awkward. I just watched the first sex scene, which was alright. It wasn't that long, but it also wasn't really that short. I feel like the music was definitely very overpowering for the scene. I don't know. The like dirty talk was honestly kind of cringe. Like, it makes sense for the characters and like the story, but overall, like just watching it, I was like, this is weird. Some of the music in this movie so far is very odd. We had like one scene with Miles in the tire shop, and I think it's like his first scene. There's like a quick little montage of him and his licorice, and there's like this music that kind of comes out of nowhere. It fades in and out very fast, and that was just totally unnecessary. Also, I feel like the pizza delivery scene was just kind of unnecessary to include in the movie. Like, that's a scene they definitely could have taken out and maybe have made other scenes longer instead. So far, the dialogue is kind of the same as the book. The acting isn't the greatest, but I will say the female lead definitely has a lot more charisma on screen. I feel like she isn't just saying the words. I do feel like she is acting, you know, with her facial expressions and her like body language and stuff, whereas the male lead, I feel like he's just kind of reading words. I don't really feel like he's acting, but I have 46 minutes left, so I'm just gonna watch the rest and I will give my review after.
I feel like I need to tell you that I didn't come here last night to do that.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it was really good. Fucking great, actually.
It was, wasn't it?
But I just want you to know that wasn't my plan.
Is this the part where you tell me that you're not in a position to like someone again?
Maybe.
It's fine.
So I just finished Wait With Me, the movie, and I definitely enjoyed it more than the book, but just barely. The second half of the movie was better than the first half, I will say that. I forgot to comment on the music in one of the scenes from like the first half of the movie. It was like the motorcycle scene. There's the weirdest music. I have ever heard. I know it was trying to be like a popular like pop song, but it was so weird. I wish they would have picked a different song for that. This movie definitely had some cringy moments, and I'm really uncomfortable about the whole book boyfriend term. I just think it's really cringy and embarrassing to think of like a character as a book boyfriend. I just get really uncomfortable with that. So like the constant references to book boyfriend made me uncomfortable, but that also was a thing in the book. I really liked the directing. I thought everything was shot so well and beautifully, and there wasn't anything too dark or too bright. I really liked all of the shots, and I thought the director did a fantastic job. I also believe Colleen was in the like cafe. She was at the register, I think, which was a nice little cameo. And then the author also did a cameo. Amy Daws was in the tire shop scene, kind of like in the front entrance desk area. I always love when the authors do their little cameos. I think that's really fun. I will say the whole like fight breakup scene was honestly the best acted scene of the entire movie, and that honestly was as good as it was gonna get. I'm sorry, but Andrew Biernat was just not really that great. He had moments, but like overall I thought he was a really weak actor. Madison Lawlor definitely held the movie together for me. I feel like she was really acting, and there were scenes where she was very effortlessly acting, and I appreciated that. And I feel like that is truly the only reason this movie worked. I guess there was one other like full-length sex scene when they went camping, and I definitely preferred that sex scene over their first sex scene. I just feel like maybe the actors didn't really have that much chemistry, to be honest. The ending was cute though. I really liked the ending, and then the whole like book cover and how it's like pretty much exactly like this. I just thought that was really funny. Yeah, some of the music was off, like I said earlier. They just used some really strange music. There was a decent amount of dialogue that was exactly from the book, but I did notice some things were a little different and more natural. I feel like the story did flow really well. It didn't feel like jump cut scene to scene to scene. I feel like each scene flowed nicely with the following scene. I personally wouldn't mind if David Gregory did some more adaptations. I think the script was fine. Like, it wasn't horrible. It was pretty faithful to the book. They didn't really change much, if anything. All the other actors were fine. The actor who played Sam and Lindsay and Dean were all right. They were decent actors. I didn't feel like their performances were that bad. If you were debating whether to watch the movie or read the book, I think I would still recommend the book. I just feel like it wasn't as cringe as the movie. I think even though the book had more substance, I enjoyed watching the movie more just because it was to the point. If I were thinking about rereading the book or rewatching the movie, I think I would just rewatch the movie. But I feel like in general they're pretty equal, honestly. Now that I'm truly thinking about it, I don't think the movie is that much better. The book, I think I'm still going to give a 2 out of 5 stars, and I think I'm going to do the same thing for the movie. I think I'm also going to give it a 2 out of 5 stars. There were definitely qualities from this book that I liked more than the movie, but then there were also things from the movie that I liked more than the book. I think that's my biggest issue with these Passionflix romance adaptations, is that they just pick the cringiest, most awkward dialogue ever, and it just makes me so uncomfortable. You could have done the exact same scene from the book, but changed the dialogue, and then the scene would have been fine. If not, maybe even better. But I think that's like always my complaint about Passionflix adaptations, is the dialogue. The dialogue is just something that they need to like distance themselves from the books and actually write dialogue that you would say in real life, in like a normal situation, a normal interaction. But to be honest, I do think they did still a good job with the dialogue. Like, it wasn't a lot that was from the book. There were some very natural, normal scenes, normal dialogue, so I am just nitpicking like usual. I think in general, if you want more substance, read the book. If you have less time to dedicate to a book, watch the movie. They're pretty much equal in my opinion. I think that's kind of it that I really have to say about the book and the movie. It's definitely not Passionflix's worst adaptation. I think one of the worst ones might be Resisting Roots, although I kind of liked that one for some reason. I'd actually definitely have to like sit down and think about what my least favorite Passionflix adaptation is. I think a long time ago I did a video where I ranked Passionflix adaptations and the books. Let me know if you want an updated version of that. I would definitely be down to do that again. Also, let me know what Passionflix adaptation you want me to do next. I'm pretty sure Gabriel's Redemption Part 1 is supposed to come out sometime in June. I'm waiting until all 3 parts are out and then I'm going to do one big video, so I'm going to wait until we have the 3rd part. So I won't be doing that one in June, but I still have Torn, Seduction and Snacks, and The Secret Life of Amy Benson, I think. Those are the 3 that I have yet to do. So let me know which one you want to see next, and I'll probably hopefully do one in May. Let me know your thoughts on Wait With Me by Amy Daws and the Passionflix adaptation. Which one did you like more? If you've only read the book, are you interested in watching the movie? Or if you've only watched the movie, are you interested in reading the book? Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.